Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. It's your girl Jazz, and I'm doing a comparison review today on the PowerXL steamer and cordless iron versus the Sunbeam. And I'm pretty sure I got that mixed up. PowerXL cordless iron and steamer, I think is what the order's in. But anyways, you get the idea. It is both of these cordless irons are steamers as well as obviously cordless irons. Both of the irons you can iron either using it corded or uncorded. Cordless, uncorded. You know the difference. Actually, is there a difference? No, it's the same. Yeah, it's getting late. Sorry, guys. But yes, you can use them both the same way. They're both steamers as well. So, what's the difference? What's the benefits? That's what we're going to be reviewing today. To start out, the PowerXL is $60 versus the Sunbeam is $40. And again, these are probably rough estimates. It could be, you know, $59.99, it could be $58, or $39.99, whatever the case is. But I'm just giving you a rough estimate. That's pretty much the main difference to start out is a price point. That's something that I personally look at. Do I really want to spend that kind of money? If the quality is the exact same, why not go for the cheaper end? But we're also going to go through other features, of course. So for starters, as I said, they both have the cordless bases. Now, one of the downsides about the cordless irons is I was hoping that I'd be able to charge and travel. Not the case on either one of these. Both of these, you will need to take the chargers with you if you're traveling or have them close by if you're ironing, because they do not hold the heat for more than a few minutes. I haven't exactly tested the time difference between the two, and the main reason is because on the PowerXL, it does not have any indication of where the heat stands, whether it's at the peak of the heat, it needs to be recharged or anything like that. That's one of the big downsides that I'm not happy with the PowerXL. However, on the Sunbeam, it does, okay, it was plugged in earlier, so I feel the heat. Right here is the bar, and you can actually see it light up. I don't believe it's blinking red. If not, it may have gone to sleep, because both of these do have auto shutoffs, which I think that might be the case. So I'm actually going to risk possibly being burned. I'm very clumsy. So you can see it light up here, and it's charging. I'd say in about 1 minute's time frame, it's going to turn green. So it does take about a minute to charge up to the temperature. Currently, I have both of the irons set up to the highest speed as well, highest heat as well. So we're going to watch it turn green, I guess. So now it's at full, how would I phrase it? It's at the full heat, maximum heat for that level. So depending on what level you have it set on, because of what you're ironing, I'm trying not to burn myself, it'll obviously take different times, but I wanted to have it on the highest setting so that way I could take the longest, so to speak. Unfortunately, the only thing that this one has is the PowerXL is right here on the bottom. Ooh, that's scary. Again, I felt some heat. And it's kind of hard for me to show you guys, but it's right here on the bottom. And as it's charging, it'll turn red. But that's about the only indication that it has. So I don't know when it needs to be charged. I don't know when the auto shut off has gone off. If I'm not paying attention to the time or anything like that. I believe it's 30 seconds uncorded for them, and again, this is just rough estimates because I haven't exactly timed it, because again, I don't have the indication on where the heat is on the PowerXL. So I did remember looking up on the Sunbeam the exact times of how long it takes before the auto shut off. I did not see that on the PowerXL. It may have been something I overlooked, but if you have those exact time frames, please feel free to share those with others. But again, I'm not much of an instruction reader if you've seen any of my other videos. So I will be upfront with that right off the bat. I did look on the Sunbeam just because I actually had a way of indicating on when is the auto shut off and things like that versus the PowerXL, because I have no indication of that. As it sits on the charger currently, I have no indication on where it stands as far as the heat level. So that's one of the downsides on the PowerXL. However, it does kind of redeem itself on a couple of different features. For one, on the docking stations, I like the fact that on the PowerXL, if you want to lock in the iron, it's on the back, so you don't have to worry about possibly accidentally, if you're anything like me, you don't have to worry about yourself burning yourself or anything like that. Versus the Sunbeam, you have it in the front, so you know, if you're not paying attention or something like that, just trying to kind of blindly do it, so to speak, it's possible you can burn yourself. But I like the fact that it's in the back on the PowerXL versus the front on the Sunbeam, just because, you know, for safety issues is my main thing. We can start out just looking at, again, the physical features. The Sunbeam has a little bit more surface area on it. Let me take these off because I'm going to end up burning myself if I don't. So the Sunbeam has a little bit more face surface on the iron versus the PowerXL. It has a little bit of a little less, but again, if you're not, you know, have a huge ironing board and trying to cover the whole thing at one time, that would be nice, especially on a pair of pants, instead of having to rearrange it. So to me, personally, as far as the surface area, the main big difference is on the bottom, which I don't see it really affecting too much. But again, depending on how much ironing you do, whether you're doing arts and crafts or, you know, just your daily work ironing, which I'm not sure how many people are doing that right now, because I know I'm not. As far as the surface area goes to the Sunbeam. But again, I don't see that as being a deal breaker on which one I should buy, personally. However, if you are into arts and crafts, or if you do iron a lot of shirts, one thing that you will appreciate a little bit more on the PowerXL, if you look at it straight on, so hopefully I'm dead center on the camera, is, and again, I'm trying to show you guys without burning myself, the narrowness right here, so that way you can get in between buttons a little bit easier, or if you're doing any types of arts and crafts, you need a little bit of a more narrow area. This is definitely going to be a benefit versus the Sunbeam, which has, you know, just a standard shape to it, I guess you could describe it as. Again, they both iron, they both work, they both have this auto shut off, they have the vertical steamer on it. You can see those being demonstrated in the individual review videos that I did, which are going to be links below. So if you want to see those specifically, overall, what works? Oh, wait, there's one more thing that I do need to cover. The quality of it. Now, or actually the weights. I actually kind of think the PowerXL, I can actually feel it, the difference, just holding them up. It doesn't look like the, you know, it looks like that PowerXL, just strictly looking at it, you would think that it's heavier, but it's actually lighter than the Sunbeam. And I don't have the exact measurements, but I mean, it's maybe not even half a pound difference. But I do, you know, if you're, like I said, if you're doing a lot of the steaming and everything like that, that PowerXL is going to be more benefit, because again, it is lighter. And I know just holding it up, oh, it's no big deal. But if you're constantly doing a lot of steaming, you know, you have a lot of curtains around the house or anything like that, that's gonna, you know, hurt your wrist after a while, if you have just the lightness of it. And then again, the overall quality over it, I like the PowerXL in general, not necessarily the bright colors, because I like the hide in the background, plain Jane type of look color-wise for the Sunbeam. But as far as the overall look-wise, quality-wise, I'd have to give it to the PowerXL. I haven't seen any chips or anything like that. Of course, there's probably little water droplet stains on it. But in general, I feel that the PowerXL, for that extra $20, you're going to get more of a quality to it. And part of the reason why is, and I'll do a close-up on this, I already see some chipping right here on the Sunbeam. I haven't really used it too much. And even when I'm not, you know, haven't done any of the videos or anything like that, it's been sitting on my desk over here, and I don't know how it chipped, but the paint's already chipping. I've only used this maybe 2 or 3 times, and I don't know where it came from. And this is the water spout that you're going to pour your water in for your steamer. One of the things that I'm concerned about is if I didn't really do anything to chip the paint here, I can only imagine even more water damage coming to it. One of the downsides that I do not like about the the Sunbeam is the fact that in order to fill the tank with water, you have to do it flat. You know, even the way it's lined up now, that's warm. it's not the most convenient. I'm used to pouring water into the spouts vertically. I don't know about any of you guys. And part of the reason why I know that, because you can see right here with the max fill, it's horizontal, it's not vertical. On the PowerXL right here, you can see it's intended to do it vertically. So that's one of the things that I do not like. As like I said, as far as quality goes, with the Sunbeam, I can see it being a little bit cheaper, even though it's heavier, which is kind of interesting quality. But like I said, the paints are okay. I see exactly why the paint's chipping right here. Just opening right here, the paint's already chipping. That's where it's chipped. And also, if you watch the original videos of each of these irons, I had zero problem pouring in water with the PowerXL. I used the cup that was provided with the iron, so it did come with there, so it made pouring the water extremely easy. I had no issues. Any spillage was definitely user error, and I will own up to that one 100%. However, with the Sunbeam, I had some issues with that in the fact that I didn't have a cup to pour from. I had to use something, you know, just a water bottle that I have at home. So I could have easily used the same spout, or the same cup that came with the PowerXL, but I didn't want to give the false illusion that the Sunbeam comes with a cup as well. So that's part of the reason why I just used a water bottle, I believe in the video, to pour. One of the things that I did not like about the Sunbeam as well is the fact that when I was pouring it horizontally, yes, I have to emphasize that because it's weird. I'm a creature of habit. I'll be the first one to admit it. But when I was pouring it, I can easily have it where it was, you know, just a single little waterfall that was going into there nicely. I could have easily had no issues. However, I'm not sure what happened with it, but it seemed like there was a bubble that covered it. And I ended up spilling water everywhere. I had to, I guess, pop the bubble, and I was able to pour more water in. So like I said, visual, I guess would probably be the best way to describe it, is on the original review for the Sunbeam. So if you want to see that example, see me pouring it, that was not user error 100%. I'll be the first one to admit to it. Like I said, any water spillage with PowerXL, that was all 100% user error. But as far as the Sunbeam, I'm not exactly sure what happened. It kind of had the air bubble. I don't know, it was weird. Because I could have sworn that that it was my fault, but after pouring it again, a perfect little waterfall coming down, and it bubbled up, and yeah, so I made a huge mess. Well, I think I kind of covered everything for the most part on the comparison. Now, before I give my official, I guess, announce the official winner of this, there is one thing that I did see that I really loved about the PowerXL is the fact that like I said, if you're into arts and crafts, or if you're doing any types of arts and crafts, sewing, whatever the case may be, more than likely you're going to have plastic somewhere. Especially if, like me, you're buying a lot of stuff, you're opening it, throwing the plastic somewhere, especially if you're kind of just in the zone. If you accidentally iron over something plastic and it's going to melt, and I know I see people just cringing right now, like, please don't do that, you're gonna mess up your iron. Okay, for one, it's not even hot enough. All right, let me set these irons up and warm them up. I told you guys, it's been a long day, so please forgive me for my goofiness. Okay, let's face it, I would still have my goofiness regardless of how tired I am. That's just me. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know exactly how goofy I can be. So I'm going to go ahead and actually lock this in, both of these, so I don't have to worry about messing up the tablecloth again. So I'm going to give it a minute. Like I said, from the reviews that I read, or not the reviews, excuse me, from the specs that I've read on each of these, the PowerXL is going to actually reheat quicker in about 30 seconds versus Sunbeam. It's going to take about a minute. And in the matter of that time I was talking, it's done. So that's another factor if you're looking into it, as far as reheating it. How long is it going to take? As far as the PowerXL, it's going to go a little bit quicker at 30 seconds. So it's going to be about half the time. And once it's already heated, ironing a little bit, you put it back on, it's going to take about 8 seconds to charge versus 30 seconds. So as I was mentioning, one of the benefits that I found about the PowerXL is that if you are ironing and you accidentally have some plastic that gets melted on there. So yes, I am doing this all 100% intentionally. And you'll see why. For one, I just want to watch it melt. I don't know if that's the case with the Sunbeam. So we're going to test this one out. I'll take this one off. Take this one off too. So hopefully this one doesn't mess up. Kind of worried about this. So I'm going to let this cool off because obviously I'm not about to touch either one of these whenever it's extremely hot like this. And you'll see exactly why in a minute as to why. So let me go ahead and throw these in the freezer, let them cool off, and I'll be right back. So I'm pretty sure you guys are looking at this video thinking I've pretty much lost my mind for melting some plastic on some irons, right? Well, one of the things that the PowerXL promotes is the fact that you can melt plastic on it and pick it up without any problems. And there's no damage. This is still slightly warm, so as you see how easy it was for me to pick it up. In the original video, I did it where everything was completely 100% cool, and I still peeled it off just as easily. So as long as you're able to touch it, you can pretty much pick it off. Now, the scary thing is I'm not sure about the Sunbeam. So we're gonna hope it does the same thing. Okay, so it does. That's pretty cool. And yes, this is still warm, but again, I had no trouble peeling it off whatsoever. Just picked up a little corner and it just literally peeled off. So if that's one thing that you're worried about on either one of these, obviously it works. Now, these are pretty new irons. I really haven't used it too much outside of the videos. I did do a little bit of ironing outside of the videos, of course, just kind of test it out. But if you are using more of it on the arts and crafts aspect of it, I would still kind of be a little bit careful with it because obviously if you do scratch it up and everything like that, and it does take off this top coating, just over through normal wear and tear, I'm not sure how well it will protect. So again, I'm just throwing that little disclaimer out there because I don't want people to come back to me, well, it's all scratched up now and it doesn't peel. I don't know for sure. These are, like I said, fairly brand new. The PowerXL does have some scuffs on it. Actually kind of dirty. But obviously I didn't have any trouble peeling it off. Now, I'm pretty sure you're ready to hear the results on which one do I believe is more bang for your buck. Is it going to be the cheaper Sunbeam or is it going to be the PowerXL? Oh, you're waiting for me to tell you. I'm actually leaning surprisingly more towards the PowerXL as far as my preference on which one's more beneficial. Like I said, I showed you the few little downsides about the PowerXL. But overall, I think it's more of a bang for your buck. Just the quality alone. The only thing I just really wish it had would be, you know, some sort of notification on the level of heat that's on there. So PowerXL, whenever you make a 2.0 version or, you know, Power XXL, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. That would be the only, just, you know, thing that I would really want to see. So that way I know which one's, you know, more beneficial. There is one thing that I forgot to mention earlier in the video is as far as these cords go, which one has the longer cord. That's actually going to be the Sunbeam. It's just a little bit longer. I'd probably say not that much longer than the other one, but they are both cordless. So that's part of the reason why I didn't mention it, because you're really not limited to how far you go as far as the cord goes. So I think I covered everything. If I have not, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. If I know it, if it's an opinion, of course, I'll provide it to you. But if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any suggestions on anything else that you want to see reviewed, tech-wise or even food-wise, because I do have a food channel, Jazzyfoodz. Please drop your suggestions. I'll be more than happy to add to my list. If you have any questions on those products, what you want to see specifically, please drop those as well so I can make sure to cover it in my videos. In the meantime, make sure that you subscribe to Jazzy Reviews, as well as, like I said, my other YouTube channel, Jazzyfoodz. In the meantime, stay tuned and stay jazzy. Thanks for watching, guys!